Welcome everyone to our Christmas Canary Islands news update. I'm going to bring you all the latest information. If you're on your way over to the Canaries, there could be a few things in here that you want to hear. All of the latest news and also weather over the Christmas period, all coming up. So, a big welcome to the channel. If you are new here, I am Andrew. I live here in Los Cristianos in Tenerife, where it's currently absolutely gorgeous. Clear blue skies, crystal clear, and 25 degrees. It is stunning today. We've got boat trips out there, we've got kayaks, ocean's lovely and calm, and a really nice atmosphere just before the big day, which is coming up in just 2 days' time. I'm going to run through some of the latest information for the Canaries, starting off with a big one that a lot of you will be keeping an eye on if you're on your way over, and that is as regards to the UK border passport strikes. Travellers braced for misery at UK's busiest airports as border force workers strike. Thousands of flights could be disrupted during one of the busiest times of the year as border force employees walk out. More than 1,000 employees will walk out, affecting passport control desks at Heathrow, Gatwick, Birmingham, Cardiff, Manchester and Glasgow airports, as well as the port of East Sussex as well. The strike will last until early on Boxing Day, before another round of strikes from the 28th of December until early on New Year's Eve. More than 10,000 flights are scheduled to land at those airports during those times, and more than 250,000 passengers arriving on Friday have been warned to expect delays. So from reading that, it does seem that if you're coming out of those airports, leaving from them, you won't have much of a problem. It's all the arrivals that you could be facing some delays. You might be getting off the plane and facing some long queues. However, stay positive. If your flight is on and your flight is going, then it could be a lot worse. At least that we're not getting flights cancelled. But yeah, do be prepared to face some lengthy delays when you arrive. Maybe if you're getting a taxi or you've booked a taxi service when you get back to the UK, do let them know and warn them that you could be facing some lengthy queues. Fingers crossed it won't go on for too long. I know they are trying to draft in some temporary workers to cover the people that have gone, but it is tricky with it being such a important job. They can't just get anyone in to check people's passports, of course, so it is going to be a little bit tricky, that one. Staying on to the topic of UK airports, I did pass through Amsterdam very recently on a trip, and I noticed how fantastic their new scanners were in the control area, in that security. Putting your bag through, you didn't have to take any liquids out, any of the electricals. Your whole bag just went through these big, huge scanners, and that was it. You didn't have to take anything out. It is all over the news now that the UK are pushing for those, and we will hopefully see them implemented in the next couple of years. UK airports to soon relax security rules for liquids and laptops. Under current requirements, travellers from the UK are only allowed to carry liquids up to 100 millilitres and scan them in a clear plastic bag. It caused all kinds of problems when I flew back to Tenerife a few days ago at Liverpool. They were very, very strict on it. It had to be a certain size, and you couldn't even have Tesco written on it. It had to be their crystal clear bag. They're making you buy them for £1 and things like that. All major airports across the UK have been set a June 2024 deadline to install new security technology to allow liquids and laptops in hand luggage to be scanned through. The British government have announced as part of rules a bit of a shake-up for the airports. As I said, in those current requirements, you've got to take all your liquids out, all the, separate it all. They've got to all be under 100 millilitres. That does all stay in place. But hopefully this new system that comes in 2024, it makes it so much easier. Trust me, I used them at Amsterdam a couple of weeks ago and it was a breeze. It was so much easier. Then I travelled from Liverpool to here and it was a nightmare. Really did slow things up. So I think that's good news. The tiny toiletry bags has become a staple of airport security checkpoints, but that is all set to change, and they are streamlining cabin bag rules at airports whilst enhancing security as well. So these new scanners will actually add security and be even more safer than they were, taking the little bags out. So all of the major airports, likes of Manchester, Gatwick, all of those big airports will get these new scanners. They're expensive, but I think it'll be good. Now, in other Canary Islands news, if you do live here, you moved over fairly recently and you're still unable to drive on your British licence, there is a little bit of an update that they have released as regards to it. It's not a huge amount of information. A brief update on progress towards driving licence exchanges coming into force, what they expect to happen. The UK's legal checks have now been completed and a final version of the draft is with Spain for agreement on their side. When the British Foreign Secretary James Cleverly and Spanish Foreign Minister Alvarez met this week, they both agreed that they were close to completing this process. We will update again just before Christmas break and work with Spain to continue trying to get this all sorted and agreed. At the moment, a lot of Brits over here that have moved, but they can't drive on their UK licence because of Brexit. It is hopefully all scheduled to change. So once that is all agreed, you will be able to exchange your licence without taking a Spanish driving test. It should make everything nice and smooth and easy. So I will keep you up to date on that. As for now, it's all down to Spain now to agree, and the UK end side of it is all done. Now, a little reminder as well that does go on. I have experienced this quite a few years ago now, and that is drink driving. I did have a drink driver over here right off one of my renter cars quite a few years ago, and it is just a reminder to do make sure if you're going to drive, don't drink. If you're going to have a few drinks, just be safe and get a taxi. There is a reminder here floating around as well from the DGT over here, and that is that some drivers aren't allowed to have any alcohol in their system. The likes of 18-year-olds and under can't have any alcohol in their system. But in general, do please be very careful. It does all go on at Christmas. People drink a bit too much than they thought they were going to, end up driving home. Do just stay safe. Grab a taxi, because I've seen what it caused. When it wrote off that car, there was a child in the back in a child seat as well. Thankfully, everything was okay with the client's car was completely finished, and it was quite a scary time. It went through court and everything like that. So please, if you're going to have a drink, just be responsible. Pay for the taxi home. It is not worth it. It really isn't. But yeah, just a little reminder there to do stay safe and don't drink drive over Christmas. Now, a little bit of local news for me here in Los Cristianos. You will notice if you've been around here over the last few years, the traffic is a major problem. And the good news is that the state has allocated a huge chunk of money to combat some of the traffic issues that we have. 5 million euros is being given to Los Cristianos, to Arona, to sort out the problem. The main thing they want to do is put a junction going from the TF1 motorway down to the port. They want more of a better connection for people coming off the ferries. It does get very congested in town there, and they want to try and make an easier access just to get people on the motorway and off. So hopefully we will see the traffic reduced. It's a big chunk of money. The council have got to agree to a lot of the plans that the state have put into proposal. I know that already Arona Council aren't happy with a few things, including Avenida La Habana being 2 lanes, because they're saying that's going to take away a lot of parking that we do need here. Parking is already quite scarce, so it's going to be a long way off, but it's good to see we do get issues with traffic, especially with the ferries coming in here. You've got to get all through town to get up to the motorway. They are going to try and do something to make it faster for people to get off, but it's good to see that we're making progress. We're going to get that money to sort it out. Now, again, a couple of little reminders if you're coming over to the Canaries this winter. Of course, the ocean is very attractive. I'm sure a lot of you would love a swim in there right now. I wouldn't mind myself. It's boiling, gorgeous and flat. But that does carry dangers as well. Do please pay attention to the flags on the beach. They are colour indicated to let you know how safe the waters are. And Arona has installed new technology here to make the beaches safer. That's going to be these beaches here that we're in Arona at the moment in Tenerife. And they've installed new coastal management services with biometric control systems in real time, which allows measuring of change of tides, waves, sandbanks, and also influx of public as well. So all of these different measures to keep the beaches safe. So if they do notice the tide is changing quite quickly, I presume they can change the colour of the flags, maybe advise people not to swim. But do please be very careful if you're going into the ocean anywhere in the Canaries. We do get rip currents, we do get rip tides. The weather can change quite quickly as well, so do please be safe. Enjoy your swim. It's certainly warm enough. A lot of people ask me, is it warm enough to swim in the ocean? And it certainly is. It's lovely out there. There's a lot of diving and snorkeling goes on as well, but do please be safe out there. And I'm going to move on now to the weather over Christmas. So many people are messaging me about it. One thing to bear in mind with the Canaries is we do have a lot of microclimates. So for example, this weekend they said that we were going to get showers and it was going to be a little bit overcast. We didn't get it at all in the end, so it can change quickly. So don't take this as gospel. As I said, it can quickly change. And also the likes of down here in Tenerife South, for example, where we are, gorgeous and sunny, we could go up to the north and it's cloudy, or vice versa. A few weeks ago when we had the heavy rainstorms here in Tenerife South, over in Puerto de la Cruz in the north, glorious sunshine. So don't take it as gospel. You can normally always try and find the sun out and about, and if you're coming over for Christmas, do not be put off at all. It is scheduled to change a little bit over Christmas, starting from Boxing Day, the 26th. We are meant to be getting some rains. At the moment, it's saying that there is a 90% chance, winds of 18 kilometers, but it is meant to be a little bit overcast and rainy on Boxing Day so far. That does continue on to the 27th as well. It goes a little bit warmer, 40% chance of rain. It's more sort of overcast on Tuesday, the December 27th. And then into Wednesday, 28th of December, my birthday, again, 40% chance of showers and also good chances of scattered thunderstorms as well. So those few days after Christmas, at the moment, they're not looking great. However, you will still have an amazing time. Do not let it put you off. Do not be worried about the weather. As I said, it can change very quickly. Could not even happen. But at the moment, that's what the forecast is suggesting. So what I would do, if you're planning on coming over or you're on your way to any of the Canary Islands, make some plans for if it is stormy and rainy. If you do have those rainy days, make some backup plans. You know, you might go to the mall, you might do an excursion where you're not, outside all the time. You might do a coach trip. Have a little look at some other ideas of what you'll do if the weather isn't quite what you were expecting. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. At the moment, I can only speak for what we've got right now, and that is glorious blue skies, sunshine, 25 degrees. And it was the same. We went to Gran Canaria a couple of days ago. The vlog is coming up on the channel tonight of our day trip to Gran Canaria from Tenerife. And over there was very much the same, just like this. Not a cloud in the sky, crystal clear. Lovely atmosphere over there in Gran Canaria. We did Puerto Rico, we did Mogan, which was nice and busy. Whole mix of different nationalities over there. So if you do want to see what Gran Canaria is like at the moment, the vlog is up on the channel, and we've already done a live stream as well, which you can catch up on. Lovely over there. Our first time visiting Gran Canaria. If you're over there, absolutely loved it, and we will be back. That is going to be it from me for now. Do remember, be careful with your pockets. Make sure you've got everything safe. Be aware there is pickpockets out and about, so look after yourselves. If you do want to do anything, make sure you book in advance, especially those evening meals. Try and eat earlier, or do please make reservations to avoid disappointment, especially if the weather's going to be mixed. Those bars and restaurants are going to be very busy because a lot of people think, well, we'll just go out and we'll have a nice big long meal. It's something to do if the weather's a bit mixed, so bear that in mind. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. It's free. Loads of videos coming up from here. Live streams on Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. We're going to be bringing you loads of live streams and videos, and also our videos from Gran Canaria as well, which I'm excited to show you. Loved it over there. Thank you all very much for watching. Have an amazing Christmas. If you don't join us in the meantime, or you're off, you're going to be on holiday or busy, have a lovely Christmas. Look after yourselves. Enjoy seeing the family. And if you're not, if you're going to be a bit lonely this Christmas, join us here on the channel. We'll be here every single day. Thank you all very much, and stride on.